All right, so here is my 2000 Jeep TJ standard transmission, 4-liter, 6-cylinder, and I am sitting here ready to do the power cable upgrade from K Suspension, along with the new alternator. And I took out the alternator, and I'm trying to map out where the new wires are going to go from the battery, which is here, and trying to figure out the fuse, where I'm going to put the fuse. And I've seen a lot of people kind of put them here. I've heard some people talk about mounting them to the relay box here. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this bracket that came with the Viper mod setup from K Suspension that I put in about a year ago. And I don't know if you can see it, but this bracket right here and right down here would be a really nice place to put the fuse rather than have it hang over here. The problem is that I don't quite have the wire length. So I shot the guys over at K Suspension a quick message, and they are gonna send me a new cable. They said no one had asked them about this before. So here's the new alternator, got some new bolts, fuse block, cables, got my new marine clamps there for the battery terminals. I got this guy, and thought process is I'll bolt it in with a new hole somewhere right over there. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm test fitting the alternator. I'm just trying to see really where I want to mount that fuse. If I want to do it, it's not focusing, long ways up here, or if I want to do it down below this distributor setup here. This would be nice. It would give me more easily, make the fuse a little bit more easily accessible. But I think I'd have to do something like this with the wire, or it'd stick up a little bit, or maybe come up and around the air conditioning. Or I kind of tuck it a little bit, which actually kind of like the way the wires tuck nicely if I do it down below. And then the longer wire coming over to the PDC can trace up around this way, which is this guy. It might be a little longer than I need it to be. I'll have to see. I might be able to loop it around, put some plastic sheathing on it. So that's my decision. I have to decide if I'm going to go long ways here or if I'm going to kind of go horizontal underneath. And I'm leaning towards horizontal, which definitely means that bracket's coming off and I'm going to drill out a hole. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, measure twice, cut once. I tried to film this as I was test fitting it in there, but it got a little Blair Witch Project-y. So right here, there is the camshaft position sensor, you know, assuming this is in the car right now. So I want to be careful. It's not too close so it doesn't bend the wire too much and just get crap in the way. So I'm trying to shift it a little bit over this way, thinking about maybe angling it a little bit, but that's going to make a sharp angle here where it comes in off the alternator and in there. So like this will work probably pretty nicely with the loop that I got going. So it's a little bit of a tight fit. I also want to think about being able to get to these bolts sometime in the future, but this is probably about right. So I think what I'm going to do is test fit this once or twice again, make a few marks, and all right. And this is what it looks like. I had this screw lying around and that screw lying around, little oopsie here, but this is about where I think it fits. I did shave this down a bit just to recess that bolt. I'm probably gonna throw some electrical tape over it. Probably unnecessary, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm probably gonna throw a little anti-seize on that screw. I zipped off the point of it. And I think this is ready to go back on. All right, guys, we're starting to put some stuff back into the Jeep, which is awesome. Look at that shiny new alternator sitting in there all nice and pretty. So I did have to reuse the top bolt there. I bought a bolt, thought it was gonna fit. Turns out it wasn't threaded all the way and wasn't gonna work. So the original bolt was in good shape. That's back in there. New bolt at the bottom though, which is nice. M10s, 60 millimeters at the top, just thereabouts, and about 100 millimeters, 105 millimeters there at the bottom, or thereabouts. So that's all plugged in. I'm gonna put a cover over that when I take the original wiring harness out. This bracket's back in, which is nice. Just a quick tip, don't over torque those mounting bolts there at the bottom that go into the engine block. Snug is good. I'm gonna replug all of those ignition wires back in. As you can see, I have them kind of labeled with a Sharpie, but I'm gonna cross-check that against the website again and double and triple check that because don't want a problem there. But if I can tuck this camera in, maybe you guys can see where that fuse block is sitting now, and I like it. If I need to get to that fuse, I can get to it, but I probably won't need to. The guys at K Suspension were awesome in giving me this cord here, because the original cord that the setup comes with was going to be too short to get from where that fuse block is, onto there, somewhere, all the way over to here. So with that cord, I will be able to get here. I asked them for 30 inches, and they made it up and shipped it to me, which was awesome. 30 inches is probably longer than you need. I'm probably gonna have to loop this around or whatever to make it nice in here, but the original cable was too short. I did try that originally off camera. So thanks, guys. That's awesome. I can't wait to fire it up and test it out. Thank them again. Right now, I gotta pull out the old wiring harness. I gotta put the power from the battery to the starter. So that's gotta happen next. And then I gotta get those ground cables replaced. One there, and there's another one in the engine block. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, project's done. I'm just gonna call out a couple of quick things to you. As you can see, the cables, the spark plug cables, all back in. I double, triple checked those. Made sure I had the wiring kind of nice and tucked away, or as organized as I possibly could. I did have to take this one off, this bolt off for the ground. That took a hot second. I did have to put an impact on it. It's 15 mil. Just a couple of clicks came right off, but I was having a hard time with just the wrench. The other ground over here on the engine is about a half inch. That came off pretty nice and easy, if you can see it. No big deal there. I had to play around with routing the cables to make sure I got it in a place that was nice and protected. Pretty happy with the way a lot of this is looking. I will say that down here, in order to get that cover on, I did have to orient the terminal in such a way. Let me show you a little better. I can show you over here. So you see how you can flip this up or down the other way? You do have to make sure that it's kind of facing actually this orientation on that fuse block. Otherwise, you're not going to get the cover back on. So I had to learn that the hard way. No big deal. Took me a second. I did have to buy some covers for the terminals. I did not like the way the positive was so close to the body. So rectified that super easy with just a cover. No big deal there. Also, the top for this alternator didn't really fit back on nicely. So I had to kind of rig up something with a zip tie. I pulled this off the original harness to keep it here. It's pretty secure. It's not coming off. It's not wiggling much. It's not clipped in there, but it's secure. It's not coming off, so that's super protected as well. So a couple of lessons that I learned. I'm super happy with it. Looks neat and organized. I may neaten up a cable here or there over time, but hope this video was helpful to you guys. Reach out with any questions. There was one quick thing I forgot to mention before. You have to modify the case to the PDC here in order to get this to close properly with the new wiring. So in order to do that, I've seen a bunch of people use Dremels, but I used this guy and I was able to kind of be pretty surgical with it. Obviously I would have used two hands. I'm holding the camera right now, but I was able to just get, you know, the top of that, you know, this front piece basically, I was able to cut that off. So I still have the top here and the sides. And then I did have to trim some of the bottom off just a little bit so I can get the terminal to fit exactly how it's fitting there. So just something else to keep in mind. There was some shaving on the sides, shaving underneath, and then shaving over here. But it fits pretty nice actually. It has pretty good coverage, fits tight enough. I'm pretty happy with it. So last little bit, forgot to mention it. Have a good one.